Hey everybody, welcome to Neil Talks. My name's Neil, and it's time to talk Doctor Sleep. I'm super nervous for this one, guys. Just finished watching The Shining a couple of days ago for the very first time, but it was an odd experience because I felt like I knew what I was getting myself into. I knew enough about the movie, I had seen enough of the imagery over the years that nothing was shocking to me. A different experience than if I had entered it as an alien, completely unfamiliar with the idea. But that's where I find myself now because I am watching the sequel to The Shining. And it's a very interesting sequel because we find Danny, the boy from The Shining, 40 years later now. And I don't know what to expect at all. Is he still connected to The Shining? What's his life like? Where is this going? Because again, other major difference, this is not a Stanley Kubrick movie. This is a Mike Flanagan movie, and I've come to love Mike Flanagan. I'm in love with his Netflix series, and I also know that I've been scared shitless in some of his Netflix stuff. The Haunting of Hill House freaked me the F out. But it was also incredibly good filmmaking, so I really enjoyed the experience, even though horror, not my jam. I don't know how scary this is going to be. I wouldn't say I found The Shining frightening, but it was filmed in 1980 by a director who's very clinical in his style. Mike Flanagan is almost the antithesis of Kubrick in a lot of ways. Flanagan is infamous for these incredibly long single take oneers, as we call them in the industry, whereas Kubrick was infamous for doing the same shot 100 takes plus, waiting, trying to get that perfect replication of his artistic vision. He was so hard on his actors that he infamously made them cry or just break during filming. And Flanagan feels very different. Flanagan, for one, knows how to operate on a TV schedule, so there's no way he's doing hundreds of takes for anything. But also, just I'm curious to see how he translates Kubrick. Or whether this is more of the sequel to Stephen King's story. And that being said, I don't know how Kubrick's movie differs from King's book. I just know that there are some differences and that King wasn't necessarily fond of Kubrick's vision. In any case, this is young Danny, all grown up. Does he still have his imaginary friend? Is he still haunted by the events of The Shining? Probably, otherwise there's not a movie to be told here. And we've got Ewan McGregor, I believe, in the lead role. So that's cool. I've always been a fan of Ewan McGregor's, from Shallow Grave and Trainspotting through his whole Star Wars career. He makes some really interesting project choices, so I'm curious what it is about this one that attracted him. Yeah, this should be a lot of fun. For those of you who are watching my full-length reaction on Patreon, know that I am watching the director's cut. So this is Mike Flanagan's vision. This isn't the version that got edited down and with different... Some scenes are alternates and that sort of thing, from what I understand, in the theatrical cut. You understand sometimes why a studio releases a theatrical cut versus a director's cut, especially when, in this case, the director's cut is a 3-hour movie. But that's what we're tackling today. We're tackling the 3-hour director's cut because I want to see Mike Flanagan's vision of this. I'm willing to invest the time. I hope you guys are cool with that. I'm psyched to jump into this, so let's do that. This is Dr. Sleep. And yes, I'm definitely blanketing up. Oh, the exact same music that opens The Shining. Awesome. And the old school Warner Brothers card.
Where are you going, Violet?
Just to pick some flowers.
Oh.
Don't wander too far.
From Bly Manor. Is this shot before or after Bly Manor? She looks about the same age. Okay, so this is at the same time as The Shining, 1980.
Well, hi there. Do you want one? My very, very best friends, they just call me Rose the Hat. It's a magic hat. Don't worry, that's my friend. You're missing the trick.
Who's the weird dude?
You're a little magic too, aren't you?
Whoa!
It's the special ones that taste best. You are a special little thing, aren't you?
What? Oh dear. Violet's gone. Did they take her or is she dead? Oh, it's the floor pattern from the hotel. Ah! Oh wow. Is this like the exact same footage or is this reshot? I think this is the original footage. I think. See the open room. 237. It's a different kid. It was a different kid in the hotel. They just did a really good job of recreating it. Jeez, I'm already so much more scared than I ever was in The Shining. What's in the bath? Ah. Ugh. Oh, Danny.
It's okay, Doc. It's okay.
They did a pretty good job of recasting.
What happened? You haven't talked since we left.
He hasn't said a word since. Wet footprints. Oh, jeez. Yeah, go somewhere else.
Weren't talking much first time I met you neither.
That looks so much like Scatman Crothers.
That place fed his dark like it fed on your light. We all got both.
He's not done with me.
I forgot his nickname was Doc.
She taught me a trick.
Is he Dr. Sleep?
Gave me a prism.
What do you lock in the box? Yourself or the things that are attacking you?
Don't you ever do that to me.
Violet Hanson. She's missing.
What's up, Doc?
What's up, Doc?
Ouch! You're killing me!
I in my head, this movie was all modern day, but it's an immediate sequel, at least for now. It's very interesting. So he still hasn't said a word to his mom. We're gonna see the box in action. He's very confident all of a sudden. Oh, interesting. So he trapped her in the box?
I'm okay.
Oh, now he's talking. Oh, okay. Now we're modern day. Your place or hers? Gross. 2011. Okay. 30 years later. You gonna steal from her? She's on food stamps. You don't steal from her, man. You're a frickin' lowlife. And she's got a kid. Come on, Danny.
Doc.
Oh,
No, Doc.
how many boxes?
Not memories. Never those.
So he's just putting all the bad shit from his life, all the bad memories away in the maze, in the boxes. He's keeping the money.
Time for bed, Abra.
A little more.
Big day tomorrow.
Birthday party.
Yeah.
Who are these people? It's not going to be her. Or is it? What?
You're prettier than you picture.
Chat room romance. A little gross? Not interesting.
Just watch.
They haven't
It's
aged.
interesting, I promise.
Sleep.
Oh. Is that Violet? Yeah, I think that's Violet.
This you'll see every day when you look in the mirror.
That is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
We're playing with Lolita here.
Excuse me, miss.
Oh,
Miss.
they don't know her.
Hi there.
Okay, that's not Violet. Who is she? They have an affinity for magic kids. Ewan does sad addict really well.
How far can I get for this?
Where are we off to? Fraser, New Hampshire. Her name's Abra, as in abracadabra.
Secret card.
Thank you, Abadoo.
Does anyone know a magic word?
I know magic too.
She's a magic kid, isn't she? There are magic kids everywhere. Why is she looking up? Yeah, Abra's magic. When she puts her mind to something.
Abracadabra.
They both sensed that? Okay. Okay.
Here's the deal, snake bite Andy. I'm gonna offer you a deal I haven't offered anyone in almost 40 years. Springtime forever.
That's what she's got. Okay.
Eat well, stay young, live long.
What is Rose the Hat?
We're the true knot, dear.
True Nod. Like the land of Nod, the land of sleep. So he's got no money and this is as far as he could get. Interesting. What a cool shot.
I know that look. Too well, I'm sorry to say.
Billy paid you first too. Rests on you. Because I can make this easy for you. So you see it every morning when you wake.
Fair enough.
Why are you doing this? You don't know me.
But I know the look, like I said. And
Too well.
sometimes I get this feeling about people.
Man, I can't even imagine rent for $85 a week. Sign me up. I've paid that little since the early 90s.
No fear. Understand?
She's petrified.
What is tied cannot be untied.
What is dead may never die.
Her name's Violet.
Oh.
And she tastes like flowers.
So they inhale children? That's Violet? Oh, fun with camera angles. It's Violet's spirit. Oh. We got the glowing eyes. Huh? What? There's a corpse.
They haven't found us yet.
They haven't found us. Did she die? The woman he left? They haven't found us yet? They're both dead? Holy crap.
And the wisdom to know the difference.
Flanagan does love his addiction recovery stories, doesn't he?
Well, now for the most important person in the room. Is anybody here a newbie?
How are you today? All right. Our train's still running.
The rubbing the wrists. We focused on that for a reason.
You lost your watch. You left it on the soap dispenser.
Danny's still got the shining. Holy crap.
Lucky guess.
My ass.
This office feels a hell of a lot like the general manager's office from The Shining.
A lucky guess.
The layout and the colors.
What do you want to do here?
The photos, the window.
Good orderly's tough to find. Tougher to keep. The dying people bother you?
No. We're all dying. The world is one big hospice with fresh air.
Okay. He's going to be an orderly. There's such a timelessness about some of this. Which makes sense if they're the Nod and they live forever. It's very gypsy, like modern gypsy, you know. Nomads. These like rich fabrics. And...
You'll feel better when you eat.
Am I still human?
Do you care?
You're true Nod. But what do you eat? You're not vampires, you're out on the beach. Oh, there's going to be a 237 down into this hall. It's 217. Okay.
The cat's on my bed. Always seems to know.
To die?
I guess it's time. Doesn't make it less scary.
No.
Or be dark, or be nothing at all. And I don't want...
Nothing to be scared of. Just going to sleep.
Oh my gosh.
Finally, true, restful.
You can do that
sleep.
With anyone?
Thank you, Doc.
I thought he could only do that with other people who shined. Wow, you can see it. That's what was in that weird thermos that the true Nod had. What's on the blackboard? That's the special card that Abra wrote her mom. Yeah. What is going on here? I'm trying to figure out if some of these shots are like the original Kubrick footage or whether they are incredibly good recreations. Because I don't remember these moves, but the sets look identical. 8 months?
Dan, alcoholic.
8 years. So now we're modern day.
I'm thinking about my dad. Drinking and the temper and the anger. Those things in me were his, and they were all I could know of him.
Still living in the same place. And he's still communicating with Abra. Does he know anything more about her? 8 years of blackboard talk. She's going to be like...
We took steam 6 months ago. Close 6 months is nothing.
There's less steam out there this week or two.
Huh. Steam. Breathe deep, everybody. Steam is just another word for soul? Okay, so they got a kid in Iowa, they think.
Hits the ball every time, like he can read the pitcher's mind.
Yep, he's got steam.
You want to hop in? I'll give you a ride.
No, it's real close.
Another vet.
It's okay. We're friends. And trust me.
She's a pusher.
I trust you.
Yeah. Oh. And that's the last we're going to ever see of Brad number 19. Alright, how do we fill a canister?
Are you gonna hurt me?
Yeah. Pain purifies steam.
They're soul vampires. That's what they are. They're frickin' soul vampires.
Stop! Stop! Stop!
Oh. Oh. It is. See each other?
What is it?
Oh. They're all connected. Oh shit. No. It's back. It's back. Oh shit. He remembers. He's got to remember it all, doesn't he? Are you okay? What happened? Oh, he's just going straight to the Who. Baseball boy. It's only red rum in the mirror. It's sort of like the opposite of in The Shining, where it was only murder.
We had a looker.
Big steam?
Oh, honey, it was huge.
Abra's the next target.
I'll be ready.
I like this group of villains. They're intriguing and charismatic. The soul vampires. The true nod. Hope you're okay. Your friend Dan. Does he know her name?
I made a new friend. His name's Dan.
Oh.
I know that head of yours is like a radio sometimes. And you pick up some weird stations.
So Mom understands that she's got some sort of gift. Oh. It's Baseball Brad. Oh. She's getting his last memories. Whoa. She's just auto-writing. This is fascinating. Creepy as hell, but... Oh, this is where they killed him. Oh, okay. That's where the body is. But how do you, like, what do you do with that info? Who do you call and not, like, set off red flags everywhere? Not that that's necessarily what this story is exactly about. But... Whoa! What is she capable? What is she doing? Oh. She's right inside her head. And Rose the Hat doesn't even know it. Or can she sense it? Are we going to see her in reflection? See Abra in there somewhere? Yeah. Gotcha. Out comes the hat pin. Oh!
Get out! Get out! Get out of my head! Get out!
There's a lot of steam there. Oh, it happened to him too.
Thought he was having a stroke. Who's Tony?
What?
He kept saying, please help me, Tony.
Ow. Ow, funny bone. Ow.
Rosie?
Is he Tony?
We have to have her, Crow. I tried to turn around on her, and she blew me out of her like I was nothing.
Bullshit.
No, she's the great white whale. And I want her.
Which means
I want her.
you're Ishmael. Alright. Rose is obsessed. Oh, she's ditching. So she's going to Frasier, I'm guessing? Is she going to track down Dan? Oh, it's Elm Street. I wonder if there's a nightmare on it. Yeah, he recognizes her immediately.
Hi. You're magic. Like me.
I always called it The Shining. And yeah, we both shine.
We try not to use it too. She couldn't look you in your eyes either.
She's just reading his mind like a book.
Shining. I called it Tony. I thought he was my imaginary.
Oh, that's who Tony is. Of course, the imaginary friend. Is Tony in one of the boxes in the maze?
The baseball boy shined. They ate his shine.
The steam is the shine. They're shine vampires.
Abra, go home. Whatever you do, don't attract their attention. Don't shine. I'm sorry.
It's the right message, but it's not going to be the message of the movie. He's going to change his tune before things are over.
They eat screams, and they've noticed that little girl. Might turn her.
Romany.
Or might keep her till she's all used up. You can't let them.
I think you should be careful.
She's a little girl.
She's got backup. Which little town? How much is she here? How much is this just in her mind? It's kind of like an astral projection, isn't it? I like the messing with up and down and all of that. Very cool. That's not her.
Keep sleeping, princess.
She's not in the bed. She smells you coming.
Oh, my mind's a cathedral.
What's that one say? Yeah, it's a trap.
You said you'd come back.
Get back!
Is she in your head? There's the cathedral.
Get out! Get out!
Oh, crazy. I'm gonna assume her hand is actually messed up.
Rose?
She was in my head!
What?
Stealing!
What does she know?
I got in her head. Uncle Dan?
Oh, God, Abra. What have you done?
You don't need the blackboard.
Hi, Abra.
I don't understand. We haven't been eating well. Not for a long time.
I'm scared.
No, you're a king. And you eat fear.
They all eat fear. Oh, crazy. Fun fact. Do we want that steam? Yeah, I guess we do.
How'd you do it?
Just a little push.
Whoa. 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 You don't want to be in that.
Sorry.
You don't want to be in that head, Abra.
I don't think you should come, Rosie. You are the only one of us she could track.
If she pulls a trick on you, stay together.
But I got some tricks of my own.
What are his tricks?
See if I can get her.
They're gonna find the body.
Abra.
That's a sign.
Lot of faith here, Billy.
If you're wrong, my friend is crazy. But, you know, I can work with that. If you're right, though.
I don't even know what to do with that.
It's much worse.
I always figured, like, digging up a body, sooner or later, you're just putting shovel through meat by accident. This is so super suspicious, too. Like, if the local cops just, you know, found you.
Mr. Stone, your daughter is special.
Don't talk about her.
I think you know that, deep down. She knows what happened to that little boy. And she knows who did it.
I'm sorry, Daddy. I really didn't want to.
Didn't want to what?
Jeez. Well, that'll screw you up for a day or two.
I'm ready.
I love that they're echoing the opening shots of The Shining over and over again by these high aerials. And the title cards are like in the exact same style. Just so many little aesthetic callbacks to the original.
Go get her.
So we think she stayed behind, right?
We're friends. We're friends. Good friends.
The fuck?
Fucking parlor trick.
Get out of there!
So they can die from bullets.
You deserve it. You deserve it. All of you.
So Andy made it into the trailer. Didn't see Crow. And obviously Rose is left behind. Did we get all the others? Where's Crow? Uh-oh, she can push.
Stop.
She doesn't know what he can do, though.
You're sleepy.
Fight back.
Sleep.
Don't do it.
Sleep.
Oh.
Wake up. Wake up.
Did she lose her connection? No? Yeah, oh no. Oh.
Fucking
Stay back, Billy.
Don't breathe the steam. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. No, 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 no.
Where's the crow?
Oh, Abra.
Oh.
Abra!
Abra, cadabra. I could reach out and grab you.
Always tickles me watching you rubes threaten a god.
What's his gift? What happened to Dad? What happened to Dad? What happened to Dad? Dad's gotta be dead, right? Yeah. He's just stabbed with a knife. But did Crow do it, or did Crow make Dad do it to himself?
We were always gonna have you. So their deaths, just a waste.
Don't have a drink, man. Don't have a drink. Oh, man. Don't do it, Dan.
Abra.
Don't do it.
Tony. Help me, please, Tony.
We're gonna open a box. Where's... Don't do it. Dan, don't do it.
Help.
Oh, man.
Hi.
Fuck, I feel hungover.
Told you it's good shit.
It's Dan.
Haven't felt hungover in years, and you know I don't miss it. Not even a little. Last time.
Who are you?
I'm the guy that killed your friends.
It's nice to meet you.
No.
Of course you wouldn't wear your seatbelt.
Oh! Finish him off, Abra. Well, maybe you don't need to. I'd be worried about breathing the steam. Is Dan gonna come find her? Oh. No. Is she really there? No, she ain't.
All right, bitch child.
Well, she's powering up. She's got a lot to explain to Mom when Mom comes home.
Where are we going?
Colorado.
Oh,
Why Colorado?
we're going back to the Overlook.
Why would we go there?
Well, if it's dangerous for people like us, I
It's gonna be
expect
dangerous
it's
for
dangerous
her,
people
too.
like her. Maybe even more so.
What do I say to her?
I don't know.
Abra, are you okay? Where are you? I love you.
Throwing that phone away. Smart kid. Smart kid. And here comes the Shining music. Oh! It's like the opening shot. But at night. Yeah, we're echoing that whole opening sequence. Like, are these the exact same roads? Or is this CG. There it is. Rotting in the mountains. I didn't think we'd actually be coming back. This is so awesome. And there's a heartbeat going on in the soundtrack.
You
It
need to
has
stay in
been
the
for
car.
minutes now.
Keep the heater running. You see lights on the mountain over there? You blast me, okay?
You aren't waiting with me?
I can't.
Why not?
I have to wake it up.
Wake up the place, the hotel. Oh God! It's such a faithful recreation. I'm just like, are they in the same hotel in Oregon? Or did they just have the best production designer and set decorators in the world?
Wakey, wakey.
Like it's the exact set. I'm sure the eagle-eyed amongst you could point out what differences there are, but I'm gonna end back up in room 237. I feel like his wardrobe echoes Jack Nicholson's right now. It's pretty generic, and I might be remembering wrong, but you know what door that is. This is like, they must have used the same hotel. It's the same angles, the same lenses. Like, it's so familiar. Look at that. Look at, yeah. God. We're going to see the photo of his dad. Because I think it's on that wall right behind him. I think this must have been shot in the same hotel. That's the only explanation I've got for it looking so authentically identical. But that hotel hasn't changed in 40 years blows my mind. Or the amount of decoration that it would have had to go into it to recreate what it looked like in 1979 or 80 when they filmed
Slow
it
night,
first.
Mr. Torrance. Not for long, I imagine.
Oh boy.
On the house.
Exact same age.
This was your brand.
I'm afraid you've confused me with someone else. I don't know where everyone is, but it'll pick up.
Oh, I know where they are. And you're right.
It will.
It'll pick up. She wouldn't look me in the eyes, not for long. She saw your eyes in me, and she'd have to look away.
They gotta. The bartender, I mean, he's screaming Jack Nicholson, but there's an uncanny valley there, and it's not him. And we're only ever seeing him in profile.
I was 20 when she died.
Maybe something warm to push away such unpleasant.
Oh, Dad. It'll cost me 8 years. 8 behind me, and who knows how many in front of me.
Your credit is fine, Mr. Torrance.
He's an autopilot with the lines.
The mind is a blackboard. And this is the eraser. Are you gonna take your medicine?
I'm not.
Let's get you cleaned up.
What the hell? It's a total recreation. Every single shot, every single set, I'm blown away.
Management is concerned. Why should you pay her tab, Doc? You accept the things you cannot change.
Dan, she's here.
Turn off your car engine. The last thing you want is a dead battery up here. Oh, man. We have to finish in the maze, right? That's from the original. See the difference in the film grain. And now that I've seen that difference, I know those opening shots with the kid on the Hot Wheels was a remake, I think.
Well, well, well. You will scream for years until you die.
We'll see who does the screaming.
She's right, you know. Because you don't know where you're standing.
You're the one who killed my crow, aren't you?
Go.
Are we in the maze? Where are we? Yes! Oh. This is such an homage. I love it.
You've made some improvements, haven't you? Since the last time I was in your mind.
How do you know we're not yours? You're gonna die here.
You're gonna hurt me.
Yes.
You've got a darkness in you, dear. But I think the only difference between you and me is time.
Pain purifies steam. Fear too, so you understand.
This isn't your mind, is it? This isn't you at all.
No. This is dance mind.
You're just the bait.
Into a box.
Run.
How the hell did we miss you? Where have you been hiding?
She wants to turn him.
You must be lonely, being the last one.
Sweetie, I'm not the last. Far from it. I'm just the prettiest.
I assume you know my answer.
Oh, jeez. She wants his shine.
Oh, damn. So much terror. All your life, huh?
When does the hotel do something to her?
What are you hiding, huh?
You want to open the boxes?
What's in those?
They're starving.
He's gonna die.
Come and play with us. Forever and ever.
What's Abra gonna do here? How is she gonna save this? Because you gotta figure. Yeah.
Uncle Dan, is it done? Is she dead?
No. 237. Ah! Put them in a box. Learn how to make boxes.
Try it.
You've been very, very bad.
You're not Uncle Dan. But he's still in there. That's Dan Torrance, and you don't know him. Dan Torrance made one stop as soon as he got here. To the boiler room.
You did.
There you are.
Dang, Abra.
Run. Run! Run!
Fight it. Fight it. It's gonna blow. Oh, mommy. And little son.
Get out of there. I knew you were okay.
I'm sorry I put you in danger.
Do you think she was right when she said she wasn't the last one?
The world's a hungry place.
Gotta keep
dark
room
place.
for a sequel.
There's more people like you, too. People who stand.
New tune here.
I was wrong. Shine on, Abra Stone.
But I think he's dead.
You shine on.
Yeah, he's dead. Just like the chef was to him.
Who are you talking to?
No one. That's not true. I was talking to Dan. We go on after. We go on. And he's okay. So's Daddy. He really is.
Think about Mom, though. She lost her mom and her husband probably on the same day. And her daughter, as far as she's concerned, is a bit of a mess. But we're going to put her in a box, aren't we? And even these credits are just like completely reminiscent of the original. Henry Thomas was playing the bartender. And Danny Lloyd, the original Danny, was the spectator in the baseball game. Was that him? Hilarious. I need to check the locations, which is why I'm sitting through the credits, because I want to know if they went back to the same hotel in Oregon or whether they just built some amazing sets. Atlanta casting, so that's probably where their stages were. And maybe some of the small town New Hampshire stuff. Alright, strictly Georgia by the looks of it. I'm reading this director's special thanks here. Very cool. So it was supported by the studio. What an awesome movie. I loved it. It was such a cool compliment to the original Shining. And dare I say it, it was better. One of the reasons I've never loved Kubrick's films, I've always appreciated Kubrick's films. I've always appreciated the technical mastery, the vision, all of these sorts of things. But one of the reasons I've never really loved them is I've never connected with the characters. He has a style that removes you from the characters on screen. His style makes you an observer as opposed to a participant. He puts a distance between you and the characters. And so I've never really connected with his films, although I really liked The Shining. It was the case there. But Flanagan, on the other hand, makes every single one of his characters so real, and I don't know whether it's in the director-actor relationship, or it's in the writing, or it's in what the director is asking of the actors, or there's some secret sauce in the way it's actually filmed, but I connect with these characters, and not just Dan Torrance and not just Abra, but each of their supporting casts and the True Nod, Rose the Hat and her whole team. I was like, these are super interesting villains that, like, when you first meet them, just like young Violet on the campground there, you're intrigued, that you're a little creeped out, but they're also incredibly charismatic, and you want to know more. And we ultimately learn more, and we ultimately learn to despise what they're doing, but they become no less charismatic or interesting for that, and that makes them really good antagonists for a story like this. I really dig it. They're these supernatural, godlike creatures that just look human, but feast not on just human souls, but on the shine that very few people have. So they're constantly looking for more people with the shine, preferably young kids. But yeah, I mean, it's a brilliant idea. That doesn't surprise me because it's based, again, on the Stephen King novel, the sequel to the original. I don't know how faithful it is, but it feels like a Stephen King story. I mean, what Stephen King story doesn't have a writer in it? What Stephen King story doesn't have rural America, whether it's New England or the Midwest or both? You know, we got Iowa and New Hampshire in this one. I mean, you know, the only thing that's more Stephen King is Maine, but man, it felt Stephen King, but it felt real, and the characters were awesome. Really cool idea of all these characters with The Shining, whether it's Abra and Danny or it's the Nod. They all have different abilities, whether they're a pusher like Andy the snake, or whether they can go into each other's heads like Rose and Abra. Just really interesting to see the imagination and the creativity there, the really interesting ways of translating these very mental feats onto the screen. I thought it was done really well. The way they did these traps of going into each other's brain libraries and all the rest of it. Whose head are we in at any one time was a mystery, especially towards the end there. I love that we got to see in this movie 3 things I really wanted to see in Danny Torrance's life, and we got to see all of them. We got to see him in the immediate aftermath, when it's just young him and mom in Florida, grieving and still in shock, basically, just learning to live again. And him learning to speak again, him learning how to use the box, him having this conversation on the park bench, here's this box, here's what you can do with it, here's how you can get your life back. You have to lock up all these spirits that are haunting you from the Overlook Hotel. And that's exactly what he does. It's how he reclaims his life. But at the same time, The Shining ruins his life. He sees death wherever he goes in the form of these flies. He can't even look at his mom when she's on her deathbed because of it. It leads him to drink. There's alcoholism. There's addiction in the family. It's his only way to connect to his father, because that's the only thing he remembers about his father. Getting in touch with that rage and that anger and the addiction and all the rest of it. Flanagan's so good at writing authentic addiction and recovery stories. I mean, clearly he's lived through some of that in his own life. I don't know whether it's him personally or just those close to him, but he's certainly got insights that not everybody has. But I always appreciate listening to his take on it, because it doesn't feel like lip service. It feels like it's from somebody's heart, and it feels earned. So it was cool to make that a feature of this story as well. And ultimately, that's how Dan finds peace as an adult. We see him at his absolute lowest as an adult 8 years ago, when he stole from this woman on food stamps and left her with her small child, and they both died because he just sort of abandoned them there, and nobody thought to look for them, and all the rest of this terribleness. That's him at his absolute lowest. And for as shitty as he is there, he sees it. And I think one of the things about addiction recovery, and I'm speaking of this third hand because I've never had to live through it myself, thank goodness, but you have to reach rock bottom before you can make that decision to change. And he certainly did. And so he went somewhere new. He was blessed to find Billy, someone who saw the pain he was in and was willing to trust a stranger and help this guy out. This random guy who shows up in town on the bus, not a penny to his name. And think about that, sponsoring, like paying a guy's first couple of weeks rent, finding him work, taking him to meetings, like helping this guy get back on track. And imagine how rewarding that would be to see him 8 years later collecting his 8-year chip, cleaned up, really helping out this town, but still using The Shining in this very subtle way of just sort of being there for people when their time has come. And he's actually known as Dr. Sleep. He's just sort of this incredibly comforting presence. And he not exactly sure what he was doing there, but he's helping people find those memories and these visions of what's about to happen, who they're going to reconnect with. That just sort of brings them some level of peace. And also over those 8 years, he's had this weird little remote friendship with this girl, Abra, who lives somewhere else in New England, not too far away, but they communicate by Blackboard. And super weird relationship. I like that they acknowledge it right off the top, you know, like middle-aged man, 13-year-old girl, just not looked on right, but it's entirely wholesome, except they both just happen to share this incredibly rare gift. They shine. They both shine. And that's what I love about the end of this story, is I think even when Dan had cleaned up his life, when he had gotten sober, when he had sort of found some purpose, he was still living under this rule of suppressing the shine, hiding it away, pretending everything's normal. And that's the same advice he gave Abra when they first met, when she went looking for him. And yeah, instead, you know, he finally comes around at the very end when she's talking to his spirit, whatever you want to call it, when he tells her no. Like, let your shine out. Shine on, you crazy diamond. Yeah, I feel like he ultimately found peace. And the fact that, you know, we had to go back to the Overlook Hotel. We had to go back to Colorado to confront all these old demons, let them out of the box. And that was, in fact, the release. Letting them out was the one thing that would take care of Rose the Hat, but he also had to sacrifice himself and to do so. And maybe that's just the right thing for him. Maybe that's the way he found peace, knowing that he saved Abra. He made things safer for her. Of course, they leave the option open that there can be a sequel. There's other creatures out there like the True Nod. There's other people out there like Abra. But for now, at least, she can have some peace, and she doesn't need to hide it from the world, including her mom. What I am so impressed with on this show is how faithfully it recreated so much of the original. There were a few shots that were pulled straight from the original, but I feel like so many more, they were so authentic. I know the original was filmed at a hotel in Oregon, in the Cascade Mountains, I believe. But they didn't go to that hotel again, but it sure feels like they built that hotel on sound stages in Georgia. And they built it precisely. They must have had excellent plans to work from. But not only did they recreate these sets perfectly, they recreated shots perfectly. They found the exact camera angles and what lenses they used, and like amazingly faithful recreation. I'd love to see a side-by-side comparison of this versus The Shining for some shots, because they feel like they were filmed on the same camera on the same set, just 40 years apart. They made a point of recreating those, and I feel like it was Flanagan's homage to Kubrick. He has a different filmmaking style, Flanagan does, to Kubrick. No argument there. Not many other people replicate Kubrick at all. Kubrick was a very unique style, but there's definitely an homage here from, you know, these high aerial shots, especially as we drove through the night to the hotel in the third act here. But even in the very opening scenes of the movie, we started high overhead, that little motor home that Violet and her parents were staying at. The title credits, the music, we lifted some music straight from the original movie. It just felt so faithful. And even some of the camera moves, like when we were in Dan's apartment in Frasier, in the roof, in the attic apartment, these slow panning shots on an axis and back again and stuff. It just felt very controlled, very precise. very Kubrick. And that's not Flanagan's natural style. Flanagan's natural style is a lot more fluid, but the original, The Shining, is the least Kubrick of Kubrick movies because there's so much Steadicam and stuff in The Shining that isn't typically something that Kubrick uses a ton of. Yeah, it just felt like a really beautiful homage to a filmmaker that Flanagan obviously admires, and yet he still put his own spin on it. He brought heart to it. I'm so glad that he brought heart to it because I connected so much to Danny, to Abra, to Billy, Danny's friend, to Abra's parents. I really enjoyed the bad guys in this movie. It was not a cold, clinical movie. It had heart to it, and I appreciate that. It was a really interesting and needed counterpoint to The Shining, if you will. The one thing I was bumping on was when we brought Jack back, Jack Torrance, because it's obvious that they wanted to make Henry Thomas look as much like Jack Nicholson as they can. But Jack Nicholson, especially in 1980, at peak Nicholson, was such a unique look that seeing somebody cosplay as him just sort of pulls you out of it a little bit. I don't know what the solution is because you can't make a completely CG character do the performance. I don't think there's a Nicholson doppelganger out there who can also act. But it wasn't as faithful, I guess, because everything else was such a faithful recreation. Because it was less successful, it really was noticeable. Nevertheless, it was really well written, it was really well performed. I love the idea that the bartender can only speak in lines from the movie, the original movie, I mean, from The Shining. I'm not positive that that's the case, but it sure felt like that was the case. Like he was just reiterating stuff that had, like it was programmed with it. Like, this is what the hotel is able to say, whether it's 1980 or 2019. I thought that was a really cool choice. I love how hands-on Flanagan is with his work. Obviously he directs, but he also writes the screenplay. He also edits the final product. I mean, he did 2 edits for this, I think, because I'm sure he edited the theatrical release as well, and now he's editing this version, the director's cut. So glad we got to see his full vision here. Even if it is a 3-hour movie, it didn't feel too long. It just felt like a big movie, but I was engrossed and compelled to watch the entire time. It didn't lose my interest. I had a lot of fun with this one, guys. Thank you so much for recommending it to me. A fun way to celebrate Halloween, something a little bit spooky, but not just a slasher horror. Although, who knows, maybe next year we'll do a bunch of those. I've been avoiding those my entire life, so maybe that's something we do next October. Who knows? In any case, I really loved this one. Thank you guys so much for recommending it to me. I promise I'm trying to do to get more movies onto the channel. It's just a matter of trying to fit them into my already very full schedule, but I'm going to find a way to make it happen. So keep an eye out for more. Thank you guys so much for your time, spending a little bit of it here today on Neil Talks. It means the world to me. Thank you for your support, whether it's just watching along or checking me out on Patreon. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And until next time, everybody, take care, stay healthy, and we'll see you soon. Cheers.